with the top news across the campus of Marshall University in the W. Page Pitt School of Journalism and Mass Communications, JMC TV presents MU Report.
Hello, and thanks for joining us for this edition of MU Report Spring 2024. I'm Brea Smith.
And I'm Tasha Esselstein. MU Report is a student-produced newscast of the W. Page Pitt School of Journalism and Mass Communications at Marshall University. And we create content within an organization called JMC TV. You can catch this broadcast anytime on YouTube. First up, our lead story.
Nearly 3 years after a Marshall University student was killed while crossing the busy streets of Huntington, a pair of students had a dangerous encounter with a vehicle at the 20th Street crosswalk. As Luke Hamilton reports, the incident that occurred early last week has given Huntington pedestrians another reminder to look both ways when crossing the street.
We had a campaign for pedestrian safety because it's up to both the driver and the pedestrian. Drivers aren't expecting you to be coming across. That's the biggest complaint from the public, students crossing, and it gets worse at night. A lot of dark clothing, crossing where there's no lights.
Although Marshall University police have warned students about the dangers of jaywalking, 2 students were injured while crossing the street between the campus rec center and the football stadium. Huntington police say the students were treated for non-life-threatening injuries. In light of the recent accident, students at Marshall have become more cautious when crossing the street.
I typically tend to look around a lot just to make sure I'm kind of watching the cars. I don't think I'll be any more observant though, just because honestly, I've thought about that incident like once or twice since it happened, and it's just kind of gone.
The crosswalk going to the wreck, sometimes people will just turn through there even when the lights are flashing. Don't expect a car to stop for you. Just wait until there's literally nobody there. Like, I walk across over here pretty often by that alley and there's no crosswalk or nothing, but I don't ever expect a car to be like, oh, there's a person, I'm gonna slow down.
Yes, I mean, it's definitely surprising. It's heartbreaking.
A Marshall professor says that the incident can change the alertness of those behind the wheel.
I think that we could have an opportunity here to really increase awareness about how busy this road is, and for the drivers on this road to be cognizant that you are going through a densely populated, active community who is simply here trying to learn and trying to work.
Even after pressing this button and looking both ways when you cross the street, pedestrians in any city have to be careful because drivers are unpredictable. Luke Hamilton, MU Report.
The use of artificial intelligence, or AI, has been a newer controversy that is sure to not go away. The most recent controversy involving AI was related to Marshall University's social media page. The latest Marshall Instagram reel, captioned, "If Marshall was a Pixar movie," utilized AI technology that led to an unexpected controversy among the community. The video had over 800 shares, and the comments surrounded major concerns, from the lack of diversity to not utilizing Marshall's art students.
We actually have a policy against AI at the Visual Arts Center. In every syllabus, there's a section that says that you're not allowed to use generative AI for any of your assignments. It's really discouraging to be in the arts and see that, it kind of just gets looked over even at your own college.
One Marshall art student commented, "Not the AI, art students can do this too, right?" And another stating, "Missed opportunity to feature some work from the incredible student artists here at Marshall." Students also addressed the controversy of using AI, with one student asking, "So I can use AI on my assignments now?" Arguably the most concerning part of the AI creation was the apparent lack of diversity, with one commenter saying, "I thought the student population was more diverse than what's depicted here." Another stating, "I'm more upset with the lack of diversity." Despite many in the comments sharing their overall disappointment, with several people in the comments even asking Marshall to take down the video, it's still up on the university's social media. Tasha Esselstein, MU Report.
Spring break is coming up, and seniors at Marshall University are experiencing senioritis, as Morgan Pemberton reports that students are coming up with ways to overcome it.
Senioritis. No one needs a 101 class. It's actually a 400 level class, and students are starting to feel it after midterms and with spring break coming up. Here talking about their senioritis is Lindsay Stiltner.
So senioritis is a real thing. I think the best way to kind of get through senioritis and not drop out is just kind of like keep your eye on the prize, keep your eye on the cap and gown, and also create what I call a dopamine routine. So like, for example, every day, like when I take a set break from no school, no study, I get a cup of coffee and a snack, and that's my dopamine routine, and it helps me get through it.
And there's only one cure. That's walking across the stage in April. Morgan Pemberton, MU Report.
Temperatures on Marshall's campus have been slowly warming up as spring break quickly approaches. Luke Hamilton joins us on 3rd Avenue with the forecast for the next week.
Thanks, guys. The weather here in Huntington has been great, and students on Marshall's campus have been taking advantage of it. With clear skies and the sun beaming down, it's giving them a chance to relax and get outdoors on the tail end of the week before spring break. On Thursday, temperatures will reach about 75 and little to no clouds in the sky. On Friday, there's a 50% chance of precipitation, but temperatures will still remain relatively warm, about high 60s to mid to low 70s. On Saturday and Sunday, temperatures will reach the mid to low 60s. And on Monday, as spring break officially starts, some students may want to travel south for spring break because it's going to be a little bit cold here in Huntington. It's going to be about 41 degrees on Monday and Tuesday. And then the rest of the week, it'll slowly creep its way back up to about 60, 65 degrees on Thursday and Friday. That's all for this week's weather forecast. Back to you.
We're including a new feature of MU Report Sports. John Bogus joins us with a look at Marshall athletics.
Thanks, Brea. The Marshall women's basketball team is headed to March Madness for the first time since 1997 after winning its first Sun Belt Conference championship. The Herd defeated the James Madison Dukes in an overtime thriller, 95-92, to claim the title. Many members of Huntington's community gathered at the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe to cheer on the team as it competed in Pensacola. Fans cheered loud for the Herd, especially in the moment it won. Marshall broke 8 Sun Belt Conference records in the championship run, including the most points in a tournament with 287 and the most three-point field goals made with 30. The Thundering Herd will learn who it faces in the first round of the NCAA tournament Sunday during the selection show beginning at 7 p.m. Marshall baseball finally has a home to call its own. Its new stadium, Jack Cook Field, had its opening day March 1st, and Huntington's community showed up to see the newest addition to Marshall's campus. Head coach Greg Beals said that the new stadium benefits the athletes greatly.
It's been a really fun process for me personally to go through design and seeing it on paper. And a baseball coach doesn't really know what he's looking at on architectural drawings sometimes, but to see it come to life has been fun. A lot of work by a lot of people to get this done. The most rewarding piece for me is to see our young men thrive and our student athletes thrive in this environment. That's the best part of it.
Marshall shut out the Manhattan Jaspers in the first game at Jack Cook Field 3-0. Junior Trey Andrus had a special moment in the game, hitting a home run on the first pitch. Marshall would then go on to win the series, winning 2 of the 3 games against Manhattan. Marshall softball and baseball won in a similar fashion on Sunday, blasting walk-off home runs to take a 5-4 victory. Marshall softball faced Indiana State in its final game of Marshall March Madness, with sophomore Bella Gerlach hitting the walk-off home run. The Corydon, Indiana native, had a total of 4 RBI in the game, hitting a home run in the first inning and scoring a runner in the third as well. Gerlach leads the team in home runs and now has a total of 7 on the season. The Marshall softball team will play Game 1 of its first Sun Belt Conference series of the season Friday against Georgia Southern at Dot Hicks Field. The walk-off home run for Marshall baseball was hit by senior Owen Ayers, who did so in Game 3 of the series against Southeast Missouri State. Owen Ayers' team-leading 5th home run of the season was his only hit of the game. The Marshall baseball team will also start Sun Belt Conference action Friday with Game 1 of a 3-game series against Southern Miss. Marshall diver Grace Kelsheimer competed in the NCAA's Zone A Diving Championships Tuesday and scored 248.55 in the 3-meter dive. She received 31st place out of 75, which is now the highest finish in Marshall's program history. Kelsheimer also had a historic day Monday, finishing 15th out of 79 in the 1-meter dive, another program record for Marshall. The Marshall swimming and diving team has now completed the 2023-24 season and will return in the fall for its 2nd season in the Sun Belt Conference. That's all the time we have for the MU Sports Report. I'm John Bogus. Back to you, Brea and Tasha.
That's all the time we have for this edition of MU Report. Our director is Emma Gallus, and our executive producer is Morgan Pemberton. Our newscast content is generated by us, students in the W. Page Pitt School of Journalism and Mass Communications.
MU Report is a television lab where we are glad you're watching. You can always catch this newscast on YouTube, and be sure to follow us on Instagram at JMC_TV. I'm Brea Smith.
And I'm Tasha Esselstein. Have a great day.